I don't like little Roman.
The audacity is off the charts. What WWE just pulled might go down as one of the most disrespectful moves towards CM Punk in years. After everything he's endured, after proving time and again that he's still one of the best in the world, WWE has decided to make him face Jey Uso for a qualifier match. Not for the championship, not as a reward for winning the Royal Rumble, but as yet another hoop to jump through. Imagine that. The man who outlasted everyone in one of WWE's toughest matches is now being forced to earn an opportunity he's already earned. It's not just unfair, it's insulting. A champion treated like a rookie. Let's get one thing straight. CM Punk is not a rookie trying to prove himself. He's a 7-time world champion, a WrestleMania main eventer, and one of the few wrestlers who changed the business simply by being himself. He left WWE on his own terms, battled through injuries, fought his way back to the company, and gave fans a moment they thought they'd never see again. And what's his reward? Another test, another match. Another way for WWE to remind him that no matter how great he is, he'll never be given the same treatment as their hand-picked stars. Why Jey Uso? Before the Jey Uso fans start typing, let's ask the obvious question. What exactly has Jey done to deserve this spot? He's charismatic, sure. He's entertaining, absolutely. But what has he accomplished as a singles competitor that puts him on CM Punk's level? For years, he was a tag team specialist, riding alongside his brother and thriving as part of the bloodline. His biggest storyline moment came when he finally broke away from Roman Reigns. That made him popular, no doubt, but popularity isn't the same as credibility. WWE wants us to believe Jey Uso suddenly belongs in world title contention because he's feeling usy? That's not storytelling, it's desperation. Manufactured moments versus earned opportunities. This is the heart of WWE's problem right now. Instead of letting greatness happen organically, they try to manufacture moments. They think fans need underdog stories every other week, even when it makes no sense. But here's the thing, underdogs only work when they've actually earned the moment. CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble was a story of redemption, of hard work paying off. Jey Uso facing him for the same opportunity? That's manufactured drama, the kind WWE inserts when they're not confident enough to let things breathe naturally. Punk's redemption story deserved respect. When CM Punk returned to WWE, it wasn't just a comeback, it was an emotional homecoming. He came back humbled but hungry, proving in every promo and every match that he still had the fire. He eliminated top-tier talent in the Royal Rumble and stood tall when the night was over. It was the perfect setup for a straightforward, well-earned shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Instead, WWE is treating him like an afterthought, like someone who needs to keep proving himself to a company that should be thanking him for reigniting mainstream interest in wrestling. A pattern of disrespect. If this feels familiar, it's because we've seen this story before. This is the same company that drove CM Punk away a decade ago through politics, ego, and favoritism. He wasn't the chosen one back then, and clearly he still isn't now. Punk has always been the guy who had to claw for every inch of success, the man who was never given the same privileges as others. Even during his record-breaking title reign, WWE treated him like a placeholder until someone better came along. Now, after years away and a triumphant return, the same old politics are back. Different faces, same disrespect. The reality behind the match. Let's be honest, this isn't about giving fans a dream match. This is about control. WWE doesn't want to admit that CM Punk, a man who walked away, went to another promotion, criticized the company, and still returned as a bigger star than ever, is better than their current favorites. Making him jump through hoops isn't about fairness. It's about reminding him who holds the power. The company wants to prove that no matter how big a name you are, no one is bigger than the system. But in doing so, they're undermining their own credibility. The unavoidable outcome. Everyone knows how this ends. CM Punk will beat Jey Uso because he's CM Punk. Because when the lights are bright, when the stakes are high, there's no one who delivers like him. Punk's storytelling, psychology, and experience outclass nearly everyone on the roster. The match itself won't be bad. It'll probably be great. But the problem isn't the performance. It's the principle. By framing this as a qualifier, WWE has turned what should be a monumental title build into a pointless detour. The fallout for Jey Uso, and let's not forget what this does to Jey Uso. He's been building momentum as a breakout star, someone fans genuinely root for. But by throwing him into an unwinnable match against CM Punk, WWE risks undoing all of that. When Punk inevitably wins, Jey's momentum takes a hit. The crowd that loves him will suddenly see him as the stepping stone, just another casualty in WWE's obsession with overbooking. In trying to protect one ego, the company ends up sacrificing another star's progress. WWE's obsession with short-term drama. This is where WWE always trips over itself. They prioritize short-term engagement over long-term storytelling. They care more about trending hashtags than coherent narratives. Punk versus Uso isn't about championship glory. It's about creating a headline for this week's Raw, a thumbnail for YouTube, a pop for social media. And that's the tragedy. Because both men, Punk and Uso, deserve better than to be pawns in a storyline built on corporate insecurity. Why CM Punk still matters. Despite everything, CM Punk remains the measuring stick. His promos still capture attention like no one else's. His matches still carry emotional weight. He's not just another veteran trying to relive the past. He's a living reminder of what authenticity looks like in an industry built on illusion. Every time he steps into the ring, fans believe again. That's rare, and WWE should be cherishing it, not undermining it. The final word: CM Punk doesn't need to prove himself anymore. He's already done it. In WWE, in AEW, and everywhere else he's gone. The fact that he still has to jump through corporate hoops says more about WWE's insecurity than about his ability. Jey Uso is talented and has potential, but he shouldn't be placed in a no-win situation just to protect the company's pride. When Punk beats him, and he will, it won't just be another win on his record. It'll be another reminder of who he is. The voice of the voiceless, the man who refuses to be silenced, the competitor who turns disrespect into motivation. But the bigger question remains, how many times does CM Punk have to prove himself before WWE finally gives him the respect he's earned? How many more hoops? How many more qualifiers? How many more unnecessary detours? Because if history repeats itself, WWE might once again find itself watching its biggest star walk away, not because he wanted to, but because they refused to let him be great. In the end, everyone loses when politics outweigh passion. CM Punk deserves better, the fans deserve better, and if WWE doesn't start realizing that soon, the best in the world might remind them exactly why that title still belongs to him.